Meeting.
And first, Donna, would you please call roll?
Mike Compton,
Here.
Adam Gersbauer,
Here.
Joel Dendu,
Here.
Denise Graves. Here. Chris Torty.
Here.
And the first order of business is the election of officers. Do we have any nominations for the chairman?
I nominate Chris Torty.
Second. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Go ahead, Chris, and take it away.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the nomination, and thank you for the election. I'm glad to serve on this moving forward for another few years. So that works out really well. Next order of business is a co-chair. I'd like to open up nominations for a co-chair, and I'll throw out a nomination of Mike Compton. Is there,
Second.
we have a nomination and a second. Is there any other nominations? No, we'll close the nominations, and all those in favor of Mike Compton as co-chair, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And congratulations, Mike, you're
Double the pay.
gonna double, yeah, double the pay. All right, so welcome board members, staff, appellants, and citizens to the January 13th meeting. We are already into January 13th. That's amazing. Introduction of staff. To my right, we have Donna Witt, our administrative planner. Next to Donna, we have Shad Annis, our associate planner. Over to my left, Krista Hill, our senior planner. Next to Krista is Derek Spear, our city planner. In the front row, we have Ken Prince, our executive director. Next to Ken, David Bent, our legal counsel. We already called roll. Rules of procedures are up on the board and to my right and to my left. First, we'll hear a presentation by the appellant. For each item, we'll ask those participating in the room to speak first, followed by those participating online. Do we have people online that we know of? Control Center? Wow, we do. We have somebody online. All right. So then we'll hear those who wish to speak in favor of the appeal, then those who wish to speak against the appeal. And if you have general questions, you don't know whether you're speaking for or against, or you just have some general questions, come up during the against. We'll accumulate all of those questions, and we'll have a right of rebuttal by the appellant to answer all of those questions. We'll close the public hearing, have a board discussion, then a board vote. We do all of our speaking at the podium, and when you come up, if you can leave your name and address clearly for Donna so she can take it in the notes, that would be greatly appreciated. So, moving right along, previous month's minutes, December, were there any corrections or additions to those minutes? All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
It sounds like everybody, those minutes are approved. Is there any conflict of interest on any items with the board members tonight?
No.
Nope? Okay, we'll roll right into it. So that brings us to the first item, which is Appeal 25-41, an appeal submitted by Gage Real Co., Inc., requesting a developmental variance for 3805 Lincoln Way East, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow for a reduced fence height. Is there somebody here in the room or online to present this appeal? Any notes on this one? Donna, coming or?
No, it should be Gage.
Oh. Hi,
Hello,
hello.
my name is Gage Stewart. I am the owner of Gage Auto. And essentially what we're doing here is, so back a couple years ago, we installed a new fence on that south side. And we did the variance to make that go from a 7-foot to a 6-foot fence. And now that we have expanded that lot, it would look strange if we did the 7-foot fence to butt up to that existing 6-foot fence. So we're just asking to simply install the 6-foot in the rear and on that east side of the property, I believe it is.
Gotcha, thank you. And certainly makes sense, and it sounds like you worked with our staff and they recommend approval of this as well.
Correct.
So thank you for doing that. Is there any questions on this? Yep, question. Mr. Compton.
Gage, thank you for coming here.
Yep, thanks for having me.
I have no problem voting for this, but I do have a question
Sure.
about the property in general. Do you plan to pave the rest of that lot?
So it is paved.
It
Yep.
is now?
Yep, as of November. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Great, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of 25-41? Hearing none, is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak against 25-41? Is there any additional information on this, Mr. Spear?
Information.
Okay, then we'll close the public hearing, and if there's no further discussion, I'll take a motion on 25-41.
I make a motion to approve 2541.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I think, Adam, you got the second, maybe, because you're closer. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Mike Compton,
Yes.
Adam Gersbauer,
Yes.
Joel Dindu,
Yes.
Denise Graves.
Yes.
Chris Torty.
Yes, and Appeal 25-41 passes. Thank you. The next one is Appeal 25-42. This is a use variance, so we're just giving a recommendation to the council tonight. There'll be the final determination on what happens with this appeal. It's an appeal submitted by Mark Shea, trustee Rosemary and John C. Revocable Trust, requesting a use variance for 340 West Cleveland, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow a second-floor residential unit in a commercial building. Hi, is there somebody to present this? No?
Yes, there is.
Oh, great.
My name is Mark Shea. I am my family is the owner of the property, and I am the general manager at Centennial Place, where the property is located. We're asking for as you stated, a residential variance for a current business owner. One of our tenants runs a photo studio on the first floor of a residential type building, and she would like to live upstairs moving forward. So we need a variance to designate it as both business and residential use moving forward.
Okay. Any questions? No questions? Thank you for your presentation. Is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of Appeal 25-42? Is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak against Appeal 25-42? Any additional information?
No further information.
Then we will close the public hearing, and if there's no further discussion, I'll take a motion on 25-42.
I move that we approve Appeal 25-42.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Mike Compton,
Yes.
Adam Gersbauer,
Yes.
Joel Dindu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
Chris Torty.
Yes, and 25-42 will move to the council with favorable rating. Next, we have Appeal 25-43. An appeal submitted by United Pet Food Producers USA requesting a sign variance for 1121 West 11th Street, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow a second freestanding directional sign. Hello.
Good evening. Thank you, Chairman. And thank you, members of the Board of Zoning Appeals. My name is Doug Merritt, and I represent United Pet Food. My address is 2319 Lincoln Way East, Mishawaka, Indiana, 46544. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. I apologize. So what I'd like to do is just briefly go over the staff report and as it applies to the property. So United Pet Food has about approximately one city block, and we're looking to improve the traffic pattern for our semis that engage our property on a daily basis. It would help with traffic flow, and it would help with semis idling in the general area, and I know that's been a concern. It's been a concern for United Pet Food, and we're looking to improve that condition. So with that, this is one of two variances that we're asking tonight. This is the difficult one of the two. So this one is actually located, this sign is located in the right-of-way. And we have no other location to place the sign other than where we have proposed the sign. Otherwise, we would have to actually remove a section of fence and lose a parking stall. And we looked at that as an alternative, but the problem that we run into is the sight line. So as the semis are pulling in off of Logan onto 11th Street, there's no visibility. And if we park a vehicle in the second stall, it even reduces visibility even that much more. So with your approval tonight, we still have another hurdle, and that hurdle is to get through engineering and an encroachment permit. So what we would like for you to do this evening is approve the application as proposed, and then we will deal with the encroachment permit and the city engineering department as it is necessary in the next step. But I'd be happy to field any questions that you have.
Questions for Mr. Merritt? So that's the sign, right?
Correct.
And let me see the height.
It's 4 foot and another 3 foot, 7 foot-ish.
Questions on this?
When you say, I think you used the phrase traffic flow or something along those lines, will you say some more about that, please? What's
Certainly, and thank you for the question. I really appreciate that. So what we have is we have a problem with stacking. So we have semis that come to the property, and if it's a new driver, they're not familiar with the direction to go for what facility. So recently, 919 Cleveland Street was added to the campus and is another facility that comprises United Pet Food. So now we have even more curb cuts and more doors to access. So what we're trying to do with this entire envelope of signage for the two properties, which are two separate addresses, we're trying to provide a uniform way of providing information to the semi-traffic so that they're not idling in an area that they should not be idling in.
That's helpful, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Sounds like you've been working with the staff, and I see that the staff does recommend approval as well. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of 25-43? No, is there anybody in the room or online that has questions or wants to speak in opposition? Come on up.
Jeff Claybor. I own the property at 922 Cleveland Street. And now that I see, I didn't know what a second freestanding directional sign meant in government speak. Now that I see, that is far from my property. Are we going to do 43 and then 44? Or are we just doing 43 right now?
No, right now it's just 43.
Okay. Will this, I don't know if will this alleviate all of the semi-traffic?
Okay, we'll gather your questions, and then we'll have him come up on a right
Okay.
rebuttal. So any other questions? that
Yeah,
you'd
will
like?
this just alleviate, I'm neither for or, it doesn't, I
Sure.
just am inquiring because it's,
That's why we have these.
this, yes, because the semis are blocking access to my property.
Gotcha.
At times. So if this, and I don't care what the sign, if they put it, that's down from the property, that doesn't affect me. So I was just curious to know if that will help the flow and the trucks.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay, perfect.
So
Go ahead. He's got a question for you.
Is your issue that with the semis are stacking up on Cleveland Street?
The way it is now, if you were going south on Cleveland, you would go right into their docks, only they back in. What they do is the truck drivers pull out going north, crossing 11th Street on Cleveland, and they stay there to either open their doors, close their doors. Nobody can come down Cleveland. You can't turn or 11th. You can't go anywhere. They are backed up Cleveland Street, either waiting to get in or can't get in. And if I'm going south on Cleveland to turn east onto 11th to get to my property, there are trucks in that intersection.
I see.
But maybe that new building that they are building, they won't come down to my property. They'll all go there. I'm not sure how that's going to flow. Maybe I'll find out.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks for the
Thank you.
clarification.
Is there anybody else wishing to speak in opposition to Appeal 25-43? None? Then we'll have a right of rebuttal. Well, you can come on up and answer some questions on this, specifically about the blocking the access and, do we think the sign is going to help? Are they waiting there because they don't know which way to go? Are they waiting there for another reason?
Right.
Those types of things.
Yep, Stephen Tucker, I'm at 216 Lincoln Way East, Osceola, Indiana. I've been working directly with United Pet Food, and the goal of this sign in particular is to help these truck drivers know where to go. Specifically on Cleveland Street, there will be a new access point with this building that's been under construction. When I visited the site, it's just been under construction, so the trucks don't necessarily have anywhere to go. The building that was there before was very outdated for their needs, and the new building that'll be addressed the next variance is the 919 property. They have 18 docks, and it's more of like their own, they're utilizing their own lot a lot more rather than the public 11th Street and Cleveland Street that trucks are stacking up on right now. So it's, the new building is, we're going to be, most of the receiving is happening, but this first variance here that we have is specifically what they're calling their materials, where they're trying to get these trucks in and out quickly, but the majority of drop-offs will be moved from the docks that you're at to these.
Okay, so some of that will be addressed in the next one as well. Okay.
So we have a couple more signs. Again, it's to tell them where to go, really, and try to expedite the process is the goal. And a lot of these truck drivers come to this property regularly, so once they kind of get established on where to go, it should get better. I'm with you. It's not great. Every time I go there, it's hard to get in and out. So this should help things. So
Okay, so from a sign perspective, that's what we're talking about now.
it's so essentially
Like the sign, the purpose of the sign is so somebody can come up and say,
And say, "This is where I'm
materials and
supposed to go."
receiving, I don't need to turn in the wrong way and go in the wrong spot. This gets me to where I need to go.
Exactly. You're not pulling around on Cleveland Street, having to pull back around. You're saying, "Oh, I'm right here. This is where I need to go."
And the general congestion may be in the next one about the dock bay doors of the new building.
Exactly. So
Okay.
this sign's placed at the entrance that they're supposed to go with the directional arrow pointing them where to go. So we're trying to make it as seamless as possible. So they're going in the right place. So
Is the sign going to be lit?
These are non-lit signs, so these would only be
During the day type of-
Yeah, so they're only taking shipments during business hours there. So
Okay.
I'm trying to think, I had another point there, but lost my I've lost it here. So
Perfect.
but happy
Thank you
to-
for answering those
yeah,
questions.
happy to answer anything
And
else you
then
guys have.
I think, sir, we'll continue your questions on the next one. Okay. Is there anybody else wishing to speak? Or no, you guys had the right of rebuttal, so I think we're good. We'll close the public hearing on this. If there's no other information. Okay, then if there's no further discussion, I'll take a motion. 25-43.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Mike Compton,
Yes.
Adam Gersbauer,
Yes.
Joel Dindu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
Chris Torty.
Yes, and Appeal 25-43 passes. Next, we have Appeal 25-44, an appeal submitted by United Pet Food Producers USA, Inc., requesting a sign variance for 919 Cleveland Street, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow 2 additional freestanding directional signs.
Good evening, Doug Merritt again, 2319 Lincoln Way East, Mishawaka, Indiana, 46544. As a continuation of the past hearing, I'd like to point out that this new building will alleviate a lot of the concerns within the neighborhood. We have multiple access points, and the underlying zoning code allows for one 35-foot tall sign in the industrial district. And unfortunately, one 35-foot tall sign will not meet the needs of this very large site that has a lot going on with 18 docks. So what we proposed, in conjunction with Steve Tucker, working with United Pet Food, is that we would propose multiple signs at a much lower height, non-illuminated, that would provide wayfinding direction to the traveling semi-truck drivers so that they know which door to access and which dock to locate. And that would alleviate the congestion that's currently held by the neighborhood and is a concern of the neighborhood. So this is a win-win for the neighborhood. And I think what's important is that we are trying to be good stewards. And I know that there's been a lot of time that has passed, with the concerns of the neighbors, but we're rectifying the situation at this point. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
So congestion concerns themselves mainly is going to be alleviated by having your 17 dock bay doors.
Correct. The unfortunate part is
there's not going
that
to
we
be
need.
congestion.
Right. The unfortunate part is that we have multiple access points. So where one sign would, provide ample notification for one access point, we have multiple access points. So what we're looking to do is, instead of having one 35-foot tall sign, we're just looking for much lower ground signs that meet the needs of the semi-motorist and identify each access point.
And that would eliminate previous queuing problems that were
That's
brought
correct,
up.
Mr. Torti.
Okay. Got it. Any other questions?
I assume with the improvements, the semis will no longer have to back in from the public roads?
No, unfortunately, we still have a situation where at the primary facility on 11th Street, the dock itself is only engineered and set up to receive from a rear loading standpoint. So with that, the new facility is not set up that way, and the traffic pattern will improve.
So, okay, that was, I know it's not exactly pertaining to your signs, but I'm looking to get people backing up from off
Yes.
the public streets.
Anything else? Thank you for the
Thank you.
presentation, Mr. Merritt. Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of Appeal 25-44? Is there anybody else that has questions or any concerns or speak in opposition of 25-44? Come on up.
Again, Jeff Claiborne, 922 Cleveland Street. Can I speak to?
You know what? We can't have the banter back and forth. So get us your questions.
Where will the sign be in with the street sign and that stop sign? Because that stop sign has been knocked down dozens of times
I think Shad.
as
you
they
can
come
point
around
out.
that corner. Is that where, my question is that where that sign is going to be, where that stop sign is, where the stop sign and the street sign?
Go ahead and mark that, Shad.
It doesn't, So it will be on the corner-ish as they come around.
See where, see
Where
where
the
it's
A
labeled
is.
the A?
Okay. And that's just a concern that that stop sign has been run over several times. That their sign may get damaged by some of these drivers. But if this alleviates all the congestion and the truckers pull, what the truckers do is they pull out from the 11th Street. And in my estimation, if they pulled out 10 feet without blocking the road, they could go in the back and close their doors. They don't do that. They pull all the way out, cross 11th Street, stay on Cleveland all the way along 11th Street, and then they get out to close their doors from the dock. And that is where the congestion comes. And then that they come down Cleveland Street and sit there and idle, and also on 11th Street. So if they just had more info, because I'm not sure if they know where to go or what to do. And if they see the signs and get the information, that'll alleviate all of that.
Okay, we'll have him,
Sure.
we'll have Mr. Merritt come up and clarify that, but before you do, is there anybody else wishing to speak against Appeal 25-44? Hearing none, we'll have a right of rebuttal. Come on up, and let's talk about, a little more about the signs and how it would be directing
Sure.
people.
As a benefit, the new facility will actually reduce the congestion in the neighborhood itself. So what was occurring at 1121 11th Street was all-encompassing. So they were taking shipping, receiving, material transfer, all of this was occurring on one city block. So now, with the new addition and the new building, that basically that dynamic has changed. And, with 18 docks, there really shouldn't be this problem of stacking any longer. And to answer the specific question, city engineering will review the placement of the sign at the hard corner of 11th and Cleveland to ensure that it doesn't get run over by a semi-truck.
Yeah, and I think the same concern was brought up about the stop sign. Maybe, Mr. Spear, we can look and see if the stop sign's optimally placed for big trucks taking wide turns and things.
Yeah, it looks like the stop sign is right outside that public right-of-way, so it looks like it's, right there at the corner. And as was demonstrated, their sign is going to be to the west of that. So if the trucks actually hit that new directional sign, they'll be close to hitting the building and other
Right.
other improvements through there.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense to me. Did he answer all your questions, or do you have more?
Okay,
Great.
thank you.
We have a question. Hold on, please, Mr. Merritt.
Mr. Merritt, what I heard from this gentleman is not only unloading, but people who load and leave there, park, and then close their doors and such. Is that what I heard? Now, I know that there's nobody here from United
No, there
Pet
is not.
Food for us to talk to,
That is correct.
but somehow this message needs to get conveyed to them that instructions need to be given to the truck drivers now that they have this new area. I assume, and maybe you would know this.
Yes.
That there is a place they're going to be able to stop, finish up what they do before they hit the road.
That is correct.
And it will not only alleviate trucks stacking up going in, but trucks that are out on the street, just closing their doors and locking it up and, getting ready to hit the road.
Exactly, we concur. So Stephen and I have been to the property. If we've been there once, we've been there 25 times. My daughter goes to Marion, so I'm very familiar with the neighborhood. And, having said that, I've been the lucky recipient of sitting behind an idle semi-truck on 11th Street, and I've watched them try to navigate 11th and Cleveland, with semis trying to back up to the primary facility. So with that, this new facility will alleviate a lot of the concerns that the neighborhood has had over the years, and especially with that number of docks. You know, we really shouldn't run into this situation again, but to your point, we will make it an effort to talk to the CEO, who we have a great relationship with, and we will pass along those sentiments.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
If you don't mind, Mr. Chair, I ask that Mr. Spear do the same thing, to reach out to that company, and, because this is about signage, this isn't about the other problem. And let them know that we became aware of this during the meeting, and is that something they can address?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there any additional information, Mr. Spear?
No additional information.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing, and if there's no further discussion, I'll take a motion on 25-44.
I make a motion to approve 25-44.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Mike Compton,
Yes.
Adam Gersbauer,
Aye. Yes.
Joel Dindu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
and Chris Doherty.
Yes, and Appeal 25-44 passes. Thank you for the discussion and the presentation. Next on our list, Appeal 25-45, an appeal submitted by Walmart Stores, Inc., number 2678-6315, requesting a developmental variance for 316 Indian Ridge Boulevard, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow a reduction in parking spaces. Hi.
Good evening. My name is Gabriel Loth with Carlson Consulting Engineers on the behalf of Walmart. Our address is 7068 Ledgestone Commons, Bartlett, Tennessee. So essentially what we're asking here is we're proposing a fuel station in the southwestern portion of the existing Walmart lot. With that, we'll be taking in a decent amount of parking there, and additionally, there's a building expansion also occurring at this Walmart site. So with both of those buildings and expansions, we're asking for a reduction in the parking allowed to a 3.0.
Got it. And I know there was a lot of talk when this came around about the space and if it would be too crowded and those types of things, but kind of deferred that it's done at other places have lowered their parking spaces. And it sounds like the staff recommends approval on this as well.
Yes, sir.
But is there any other questions on this?
No.
No? Okay. Thank you for the presentation.
Of course, thank you.
Is there anybody online wishing to speak in favor of Appeal 25-45? Is there anybody wishing to speak in opposition of Appeal 25-45? If there's no additional information, then I will close the public hearing and I'll take a motion on 25-45.
I move that we approve Appeal 25-45.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Mike Compton,
Yes.
Adam Gersbauer,
Yes.
Joel Dindu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
Chris Doherty.
Yes, and Appeal 25-45 passes. Is there any old business, Mr. City Planner?
None.
New business?
None.
Privilege of the floor? Anybody? David? Okay, with that, I'll ask for an adjournment.
So moved.
So moved, we're adjourned.
I didn't see any.
Like, nope, I'm good.
Are you? I don't know if you're going to be here in person or online. So.